Hello Gemini, my name is Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer. Welcome to my channel, list of essential oils and their uses. Today I'm going to do a reading about your transits in July and what essential oils can help you through the trials using my cards, the Tongue of the Trees cards. They're designed to help you navigate all manner of challenges in life, and they're specifically supposed to help you bypass the conscious mind and talk to the unconscious mind. And of course, as the planets move through the solar system, as they go through the zodiac, they beam down to challenge different parts of our life. And of course, we have a unique experience and a unique reaction to that. And so these are designed to help us find ways to navigate that time. So let me tell you a little bit about your cards first of all, and then we'll move forward onto the reading. So first of all, I like to do a Ring of the Trees reading, which is one I designed to help look at psychological trauma, but also I found it works very well for looking forward. And so I draw 13 cards, which I'm going to draw out and show you those, tell you a little bit about them, and then I'll turn the camera around and do the reading for you. So, Gemini, where should we stop? Split into three. Your first card. No. Cedarwood, Virginia. Now, you must be working very hard, I think, for that to come out. Determination. Let's put that down as number one. Number two. Oh, Roman chamomile. Release. The chamomiles always speak to me. They sing and they say, "Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be." Why has she come out for you, I wonder? Let's have a look at that. She's number two. Number three. Mandarin. Now, I like that Mandarin seems to be coming out for everybody on these readings. There's 56 cards in the pack, so it's unlikely that we'll have them over and over, and yet the playfulness, the chattiness of Mandarin is so interesting to me. While we're all in lockdown and isolated, she's really social medicine. Beautiful. Another cedarwood. You've got cedarwood atlas. Now, we'll talk more about the cedarwood, the different cedarwoods in a moment, but that makes me think you must have quite a busy mind at the moment for you to need such quietening oils. My best friend in the whole world, rose geranium. She just lifts the world off your shoulders and makes things better, all by Venus. So she's a fascinating one to come out for you. What we got next? The generosity of Scots pine. That's a nice one. Interesting. You've got lots of leaves coming out for you. Palmarosa. Lovely, lovely. Grass. I can't remember what she is. She's adjustment. Very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to looking closely at this. The euphoria, the sensuality, the absolute bliss of your yang. So balancing. Such a gorgeous oil. Yours are lovely. Lovely. Another citrus. Unravel. Given that you've got so much going on in your mind by the looks of things, this is about unpicking the different tangled webs and trying to work out solutions from confusion. Gemini, what are you up to? Clary Sage, clairvoyance, and she is about psychic abilities, but she's more about seeing things as they are, not as things seem to be because of your hormones or because of the planets. So that's an interesting one to come out. We'll talk more deeply about her in a minute. Where are we at? Number 10. Number 11. Oh, lovely. Cyprus. Cyprus is about thresholds. Interesting gateways opening for you by the looks of things. Where you are at the moment. in need of tranquility. What's about to burst forth? This is you this second. What is in the future? Tea tree and insights. This is lovely, very intelligent, exactly what I would expect from a Gemini. Lots of talking, lots of thinking, lots of ideas, lots of intellect. So let me tell you a bit about more about the cards, and then I'll turn it around and you can look at my hands and the cards. So as I say, I am a professional aromatherapist, and I have been working as professionally for just over 25 years. And I write books about aromatherapy. I've written 20 books under the name The Secret Healer, and most of them are used by professional aromatherapists as manuals for training, and I am a medical astrologer. So these cards do have their own channel, the Tongue of the Trees channel, where we go into the emotional and the mental, spiritual, physical aspects, as well as the safety of using all the different oils. But here on this channel, I wanted to solely focus on the astrological side, because this is something that I always see things through an astrological lens. There is a database that goes with these. If you decide to buy these, I would encourage you to also go and get the knowledge base that goes with them. We look at the Ayurvedic medicine, the traditional Chinese medicine, but also the medical astrology, the Western astrology from medieval times, of how they use the different plants to help with physical conditions, but also emotional, mental and spiritual challenges too. So I want to show you how they work. So I've drawn your cards. Let's turn the camera around and you can see the Tongue of the Trees in action for your reading, Gemini, for July 2020. Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading. Now obviously we pulled out 13 cards, and now you can see them laid out. So this was card number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And it's interesting to look at the sort of cardinal cards, which are the ones that are prime numbers. So number 1 is where we are now. Number 2 is what we're working towards. Number 13 is what we're working towards. Number 3 is a power card, as is number 7. So let's have a think about the astrological transits you've got first. We're coming into the month with a Mercury retrograde. It's retrograde till the 18th, and then it goes direct. We have Jupiter and Pluto coming together. They're in very strong energy, and they're in your 8th house. And then Saturn's going to go retrograde into Capricorn and join Jupiter and Pluto, which again is in your 8th house. So predominant themes in your house, in your chart this month, is 8th house stuff. So normally it rules other people's property, other people's money, real estate, inheritance, investments, and traditionally it's known as the house of sex, death and taxes. But here, to me, this looks like trust issues all the way through the month. Probably to do with that other people's money, to be honest, looking at this. The fact that you got 2 cedar woods is very, very unusual. So to clarify, if you look at the leaves, you can see they're very different. So this, although it's called cedarwood, if you look at the Latin name, it's actually a juniper. So it's about detoxification. Junipers detoxify, whereas cedarwoods work on the mind. But because we call it cedarwood, it's actually psychologically, it works extremely similarly to at the cedarwood. And it's very Sedative oil on the mind, both of them get rid of negative emotions, negative thoughts, really, I should say. And then you can see the difference. So this is determined behavior that gets rid of negative thoughts. This is meditative behavior that brings about a sense of certainty. And we've got both of those. So that's very, very strange. So looking at this, to me, also you have, so just to clarify as well, the cedar woods, even though they're different oils, are both ruled by Sagittarius, as is Scots pine. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and we just said Jupiter's going into the 8th house. It rules expansion, authority, stress, the liver, older people. And we can see how suddenly, right, okay, so maybe these things are to do with authority coming down on us. If we bear in mind that it's other people's money, other people's property. So remember, we've been talking about Mercury going retrograde at the beginning of the month, and when it goes direct, things will come to fruition. Lots of fruition, probably stuff that we started on before Mercury went retrograde, which was kind of middle of May time. And we can see how that would easily be true right now, because we've been in lockdown, haven't we? Things have gone, you know, gone still. So potentially you might be thinking about mortgages or moving house, that kind of thing. With regard to Sagittarius, potentially, maybe it's to do with education. Education starts moving forward again. And speaking as someone whose child went back to school this week, this is to do with the higher mind. So, I don't know, maybe student loans, something like that. But you'll be able to, this will have been at the front of your mind, worrying about this from the point of view of money and a relationship with somebody else for money. And the whole thing looks like trust issues over this, worrying about this, but also not worrying that it won't happen, worrying that you've been there before and this didn't work out before. You don't trust the person at all. So let's work through the cards now and see what we can see. So again, we're coming here, we start off with really negative thoughts, you know. There's stuff going on, it's niggling at the back of your throat, at the back of your mind, and no matter how much you try to still it, it keeps coming. So the antidote to that might come in card 2, because Roman chamomile is tremendous. The chamomiles always sing, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. So using some Roman chamomile, breathing some Roman chamomile, drinking chamomile tea might be a tremendous way just to switch off these thoughts. And then the outcome of that would be, you would feel a bit more excited and playful about the situation. Mandarin brings about dignity, playful dignity. It's like a tea party, you know, it's chattering and it's merry and it's not party, it's not raucous, it's just very, very dignified. So this is sensible conversations, perhaps light-hearted conversations about it, and from that we're starting to feel a bit more of a sense of certainty. Right, we're starting to not be controlled by this these thought processes now. And if you wanted to make some deliberate work into this trust, then to me I would say using cedarwood atlas. Well, it's quite a rare oil now, it's a protected oil, but I think in this situation, to me, this looks really quite angsty. This over here is angsty. We'll get to that in a minute. It's not bad stuff coming your way. This is in your head, and it's playing out from lifetimes of experience, you know. Remember that Chiron goes retrograde into Aries, and that's to do with
the wound that will not heal. And to me, it feels to me like the wound that will not heal is your trust over money, about feeling that things will be okay, but also power games over money. Is something going on in your house where you think, well, actually, I'm hiding money, or somebody's hiding money from you? And you just can't let go of that at all. Now, the ancient Egyptians used to use Atlas cedarwood for the doorways to their temples. So this is an oil that we use with respect, you know. This is not I'll just have a whiff of that. This is, I'm going into a sacred place, into the temple of my mind where the darkness sits. And I'm going to sit, and I'm going to leave the noise outside, and I'm going to sit and face that trauma. It and I are going to have this out. I'm going to sit carefully, and I'm going to stare it in the eyes, and I'm going to work out very quietly. It's not going to move. I'm not going to move. But I am going to overcome it. I'm going to understand how it's manipulating me. And it's such a peaceful oil, Atlas cedarwood. For the most part, I would always try to convince people to use cedarwood virginium because it's just ecologically a better choice. But right now, I think in your space, that need to be certain to know that the outside world, the negative place, is behind that door, and you are in a safe place, guarded, then the cedarwood is the quiet place. And you know what? There aren't any oils here that say that you need to be worried or on your guard or trusting. There's no warriors in this lot. This is about quietness, really, to be honest. Rose geranium, ruled by Venus. It's about just letting the worries disappear. And I always say it's my main oil to choose for money problem worries. So I would say to you right now, if this is ringing bells with you, 3 drops of rose geranium in your bath every night for half an hour. You will feel so much better. It just makes it feel like the worries lift off your shoulders. And I feel that that's very important, because these cards were not designed for this. Actually, this is just a strange byproduct that I found that I can do off them. They're designed to work back to the seat of a problem, an emotional problem that underlies a physical problem. And reading backwards from yours, this says lungs, 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 heart, lungs, heart, heart, heart. Back here, to me, I see, like, I think you're going to get a cough, and I think you're going to get a chest infection. Looking at these aren't the big guns, really. I suppose that is. I don't think it's the dreaded. I'm not even going to say it. I think that you are not able to breathe and speak properly, and this has probably happened to you before, and I think this is probably a repetitive issues in the tissues. Remember as well, you're Gemini. Gemini is the planet of communication. It is ruled by Mercury, so you are extremely prone to throat chakra issues. And this is what I see here. I see a cough coming, and it's totally related to, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to address this. Well, maybe it's about them. But I think actually looking at this, it's about you and stuff that's happened to you before and perhaps doesn't belong to this moment. Here, lime untangles things. It's very positive feeling oil. And so perhaps just spending 5 minutes inhaling. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. I repeat it over and over again in all my readings. That 5 minutes just doing the square breathing and finding your way around the architecture of the oil. Can I smell the top bits? Can I smell the bottom bits? Can I feel the earth where it grew, the sunshine? Can I feel all of that goodness in there? Just really focusing on it, focusing your mind, allowing it to go to the parts of our brain that are controlled by fear is so important. And lime is tremendous at kind of picking and going, that one goes there, that one goes there. That one goes there. It always reminds me of what my embroidery looks like after a while. And I'm very messy at doing the back. The front of my embroidery is very, very neat. And then you go to the back and you're like, oh my goodness me, there's knots everywhere. Where do I start to unpick this? That's that feeling with lime of going, right, okay, well, there's that thread and there's that thread. You're gonna, you know, you're staring it out there. You're staring it out, and with the help of Rose just kind of letting all of that stuff drift away, you're able to go, I'm starting to understand this and I'm starting to unpick it. Beautiful. And also, you haven't got any tremendously expensive oils in here, which is refreshing. Literally, these are refreshing oils. Very refreshing oils. So you could go and get a few of these and really start working. And I do think that one, that one, that one, and that one, because this does look like respiratory medicine to me. All of these. So Scots Pine is about generosity. Let me get the poem 1 second. It says, we pines dream all day of blue skies. We reach up with all our might. The rule is always to protect and find ways to share the light. At night I crave to see the stars and reach my black branches high, but always keeping in mind that others need to see the sky. There is an agreement we have. Take what you need, not less, and as we give, we also receive equal shares of our success. So when the wind thrashes round and rain comes pummeling down, each knows they can be relied upon to anchor their neighbours to the ground. Had to rush out then because the dog attacked the postman. Speaking of trust issues. So again, we're talking about sharing here, about making sure you're getting the fair share. But remember that the pine tree talks about how it's looking up. It's the ideal. It's always searching for the ideal. And I think these thought processes here are about finding what is the ideal. Is this them playing power games, or is this you having trust issues? There is an adjustment to be had. Let me find a piece of paper for that one. It says, clinging to situations, people or circumstances feels comforting and secure, even when you have sometimes outgrown their worth. The universe has a funny way of forcing things if we can't find the guts to release. With that comes pain and uncertainty. Let my fragrance release the ties from your hands. Unclench your fist to allow things to slip away. Together, we'll summon Archangel Michael, ask him to draw his sword, sever ties that bind you, and cut the past's cruel cord. What number card is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Always number 7 is the most helpful card. That's where you need to be focusing on your meditation. If this is ringing true and you think, right, okay, yeah, I am being controlled by this thought process, then Palmarosa will help you cut that cord. And with that becomes this intimacy, this beautiful intimacy that you've been wanting for a long time, but there's been a hurdle in the way. You just couldn't quite get past it, and you'll find this here, this is the hurdle. And with that adjustment, then you become much, much closer. And of course, we can start to unpick. Just be careful though, this one here, clarisage, we say clairvoyance, which implies that we're working on our intuition. But, and that is true, but you often find with clarisage that you're seeing things that are not there based on your triggers or your hormones. And so if you've got PMT and that's affecting you, or if you think, right, okay, yeah, no, I'm seeing things that are not there again, clarisage is extremely helpful for doing that. And just be really careful. If this comes up in a reading that says to me that there are power games, it's ruled by Aquarius, which is power games, and Jupiter, which says authority. So just be careful that you're not on the end of things, but also that you're not seeing things that aren't there about it. And the fact that cypress comes up is beautiful. Again, though, it's respiratory medicine. You can see the lungs, can't you? But it's ruled by the Pisces Aries cusp. And that says to me, old life and new life. You are at a moment that is critical to making a new life for yourself. Whether that be right back to what we were saying before, other people's money. Maybe we're going to get, you know, a new mortgage with somebody or something like that. But fundamentally, a new life away from these thoughts and worries that you've been having, these trust issues. And, you know, this deeper part here. And Myrtle says tranquility. It says it's upset little girls, really. You know, crying little girls and big hugs and lullabies. The poem that we sing is a bit like Hush Little Baby, Don't Say a Word, Daddy's going to buy you a mockingbird. But Myrtle brings about all these things. And it's about rocking somebody better repetitively, because it's ruled by Virgo, and Virgo is about habits and building habits, making conscious habits for the better. And so I think that whilst you're sitting in your temple with Atlas cedarwood and you're talking to Palmarosa about adjustments, then Virgo has a way to be able to come forward and say, right, okay, we need to build better habits here. You are being controlled by your habit. What are we going to put in its place? And of course, that takes work. Now, normally I would expect for Pettigran to turn up here to say conscious effort. But actually, Tea Tree's insights, really looking deeply into what you are doing. Where are those triggers? What is, you know, I don't know if you've ever had any kind of CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, where it splits an action down and it says at every possible moment, what did you think there? What could you have thought differently? What did you think there? What could you have thought differently? Why did you think that? What did that result in? Tea Tree's very good at being able to do that. And if you bear in mind what I was saying about the issues in the tissues with the lungs, if you start, where did that go now? There, isn't it? If you start thinking about, okay, maybe this cough is controlled by my feelings about my feelings of control. I feel it's about money, but you might say, no, it's not money, it's something else. But if you feel that the issues in the tissues are coming from control, then you need to be analysing everything, looking at your habits and working out at what point did I go screwy there. And I speak from existence, from experience there. You look and sometimes if somebody had said to you, if you looked and saw somebody else do what you were doing, what would you think? And then you'd think, well, they're absolutely balmy. How did they get there? Tea Tree is extremely useful for being able to help with that. So again, I'm going to put some recipes up for you on the slides in a minute. But I would say to you, just that whole thing of choose that moment, choose your, I would say the doorway in. Where's your way in? I would say the Palmarosa was the way in, and Atlas cedarwood. And if you've got some chamomile tea to keep you calm, all the better. Find your doorway in. Where's your trigger? Which part resonated the most? Use that oil and do the whole breathing thing. Breathing in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. 5 minutes. Just really affect the mind and make some differences. So there you go. I hope that has been helpful, Gemini. I think you might have a bit of a painful month ahead, and I do genuinely think that your key to it is going to be just whatever will be, and take a playful attitude and just really don't get involved in the power plays. And when you start to feel like you have got a cough, right, I think this is where it came from. I need to do that work. This is the universe telling me, this is my body playing out a pattern that I have created. So there we go.
So I hope you found that useful. They're very weird, these cards. When I designed them, and Gergely asked me to write the translations to his to his Hungarian poems, I had to listen to the plants all over again, and to hear them speak to me was very strange and stressful, and I didn't like it, and I didn't think they'd be good. When I got them in my hands and started to work with them, I found them extraordinary. And I hope that you do too. Now, obviously, if you are not a regular follower of my channel because you're not an aromatherapist, like and subscribe now, and comment and share, please. Also, in the description, you will find how to buy the Tongue of the Trees cards, but also how to buy the knowledge base. And remember that they are separate. The cards are available from Fragrant Earth in Glastonbury, and soon will be available from Amazon. So just keep watching, because as soon as they are, you'll get a link in the link below, and that's Amazon UK just at the moment. The knowledge base is a digital platform, and so the second that you pay me £45, I can send it down to you, and there is over 40 different videos in there looking at all aspects of the oil. Also, make sure that you check out my books. If you're a beginner to essential oils, look at download my free book from Amazon, The Complete Guide to Clinical Aromatherapy and the Essential Oils of the Physical Body. Snappy title. I've regretted it ever since I did it. But also, if you are a beginner to essential oils and you're starting to really enjoy them, but you're not confident, perhaps also look for the recipe hub that goes with the Tongue of the Trees. Totally unrelated to any of the readings that we've done, but it's using the cards to make recipes. There's just around about 200 recipes in there. How to make treatments for body lotions, for shampoos, for anything you can think of, from bronchitis to, I can't think of something from beginning with Z, sunburn, right the way across. So yeah, have a look, go and have a look at my website. And incidentally, if you would like me to do your own personal reading, if you have a look on my website, thesecrethealer.co.uk, there is a link for consultations. Book an hour-long personal consultation, and yeah, I'll do your own reading. For now, thank you for being generous and all the nice things that you've said, and I look forward to doing your August readings.
So you get your phone, you turn it this way up, and then there's a little red subscribe button. Turn it grey by clicking it, and then there's a little bell. Click that and press all at the bottom of your phone or tablet or computer. It will say you will receive all notifications. And then there's a little hand with a thumbs up. Click that, it'll turn it blue, and it says added to your liked videos. And there will be comments, and if you want to, you can send a comment and say like hi's to Mum and Gergely. And then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So bye.